well, then it creates that soul that will affect the entire life and bothers the nature, like Sodom and Gomorrah that you've heard. The spiritual effect, either way, positive or negative, it does. We always see in the writings, even the Baha'i faith writings, that these are the swords of God and there's the revenge of God that it takes from bad people. But in reality, it is us doing it to ourselves. God is just watching what wrong we do, and He doesn't want us to do. And then He says, the way you're going, there's going to be a problem for you. But we do. So, this nature, I've explained in the Baha'i theory of evolution, there's no such thing as natural selections, as Darwin says, but there is a natural possibilities. Things that happens in the universe based on the possibilities that there are. Two hydrogens, atoms comes with a molecule of oxygen. There's a possibility because of this 8 orbits in oxygen, 2 is empty. These 2 fall into those empty holes. All of a sudden you have water. Water, therefore, must have been existed as a possibility, as a formula. Therefore, the gathering of these atoms creates such molecule as water, as we see. So this is the relationship that we have. Now, if we go into nature, not knowingly, we eat something might kill us or might heal us because these possibilities are there based on our actions. So as a child who's not trained and raised under proper parentings and proper educations and was born but raised by the TV and Hollywood, all the negative aspect of Hollywood and negative aspect of TV and other things, other medias, this boy will get into drug and other things. It enters into the bad possibilities. So bad actions create those, make you to fall into those things. It seems that nature is full of these ditches. It's a minefield. If you are bad, all of the cities are bad, they kick in the program, not knowingly. Just like you go eat a bad fruit and you get sick, people are bad to each other. They don't know what the result of this badness is. It is like a stepping on a minefield. It explodes. The tsunami that happened before and the thing that happens in USA many of times are all warning. Not of just God, but of the nature of God, that you are going into the wrong areas, you see. We are starting to be nice with each other, truly nice. Americans are, comparatively, and Canadian especially, because of the knowledge they have and because of their democracy, they have some social justice as opposed to other nations. But it still is not enough because they have a leadership, and as a leader they can't do what they're doing. So they get these warnings. You have to, as Baha'ullah says, meditate upon this. It's not very simple. I cannot, teach you all of that tonight. Trust me. You've got to have that understanding. You have to think about this. How would you affect the actual material with your spirits? You look really bad as a child, he cries. Smile, he smiles. How could you not say? And there is not effect. There is, of course, effects in the between physics and metaphysics. So, we step, when we're doing bad things, not doing the right things, then we fall into these ditches. Bad natural possibilities in the nature. There's minefields. That's what happens. My dear friend, that's what happens. This is what Baha'u'llah says. If you don't listen to me, I've come here to go to jail, or just saying all those good things. Nobody else has been put to such trouble, death, over saying this kind of thing. But Baha'u'llah says it falls because His is real. So if people would have listened to him, and there was a universal government, as he was mentioning, as he was wanting it, as he was ordering it, and there's world order, would there be a first world war, a second world war? No, there would have not been. But we don't listen. And we saw the result. the big ditch we fall into, First World War, Second World War, and others as a result of it. So, Shoghi Effendi continues. I gave you some predictions of Baha'ullah before, but this one, that Shoghi Effendi says, is really catastrophic. His divine words is this, quote, "A tempest unprecedented in its violence and predictable in its course, catastrophic in its immediate effects, and imaginably glorious in its ultimate consequence, is at the present sweeping the face of the earth. Its driving power is remorselessly gaining in range and momentum. Its cleansing force, however much undetected, is increasing with every passing day. Humanity, gripped in the clutches of its devastating power, is smitten by the evidences of its resistless fury. It can neither perceive its origin, nor probe its significance, nor discern its outcome. Bewildered, agonized, and helpless, it watches this great and mighty wind of God invading the remotest and the fairest region of the earth, rocking its foundation, deranging its equilibrium, sundering its nation, disrupting the homes of its people, wasting its cities, driving into exile its kings, pulling down its bulwark, uprooting its institution, dimming its light, and harrowing up the souls of its inhabitants. The time for the destruction of the world and its people, Baha'ullah's prophetic pen has proclaimed, have arrived. The hour is approaching. It specifically affirms, when the most great convulsion will have appeared, the promised day is come. The day when tormenting trials will have surged above your heads and beneath your feet, saying, "Taste ye what your hand have wrought." Soon shall the blasts of his chastisement beat upon you, and the dust of the hell enshroud you. And again, and when the approaching appointed hour is come, there shall suddenly appear that which shall cause the limb of mankind to quake. The day is approaching when its civilization's flame will devour the cities, when the tongue of the grandeur will proclaim, "The kingdom is God's, the Almighty, the all-praised. The day will soon come." He, referring to the foolish ones of the earth, has written, "Whereon they will cry out for help and receive no answer." The day is approaching. He moreover has prophesied, when the wrathful anger of the Almighty will have taken hold of them. He verily is the omnipotent, the all-subduing, the most powerful. He shall cleanse the earth from the defilement of their corruptions, and shall give it for an heritage unto such of his servants as are nigh unto him. Well, for you, some of you anyways, you're just listening and saying that, okay, Shoghi Effendi, who was he? He said something. No, my friends, he is the owner, the master of this world. And he has sent me down to tell you some other bad things. I'm going to put the microscope in this word that he says, and I'm going to tell you when and what will happen. Is there a time is there something you could do, Esther? Will you do it? We'll have to see. I'm not going to say anything, but you'll see. So, Baha'u'llah says you didn't listen. That's what happened. Now Shoghi Effendi says the result is coming. Time has come. Shoghi Effendi, 1957. He passed away, he ascended to God, and he talked about the 5 elders. Abdul Baha directly told me on one of them. Overnight my knowledge became tenfold more than what I knew before. 100 times more. Now I've come. What is the problem that I see as an elder of God among you people? The problem is the Baha'i